This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we'll call the zoning board meeting for Tuesday, March 19th. Oh, thank you very much. We'll call the zoning board meeting for Tuesday, March 19th of 2024 to order at 6:03. Are we still having the case of ZB 2401? They are, okay. I thought I'd heard that two of them were pulling.
Excuse me. Mr. Chair, the applicant is here. I believe that you should allow them to make their presentation, hear from them and go from there. I did want to note that the last item, ZBA 2404, has requested a continuance. It's the board's pleasure on when to, but the next meeting is 4/16.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We'll deal with that once we
Yep.
come down there. All right, so we'll hear ZB case 24-01, 822 Laconia Road. Is anybody from that case here?
That's you.
So if you wouldn't mind just stating who you are on the microphone and then just kind of giving a brief overview of what you're doing. It sounds like we don't have to have them read the entire case into the meeting minutes anymore. So it'll save us a whole boatload of time.
Good. I'm Gary Parch, the owner of the property, and looking to put a temporary mobile home on the property for the construction project of the condos that I'm still working with the engineer, but I talked to him yesterday and we're a couple of weeks away from having it presented for approval. And just trying to get ahead of the curve and would like to, got 5 acres up there and would like to coordinate getting the mobile up there so that I have a place to stay because I live an hour and a half away. It gives me an opportunity to be up here a lot more frequently and work the project.
Thank you. You guys have any questions to start with?
Do you have any, can you give us some sense where on the particular property this mobile home would be located?
I've got the plans here. If I can bring them forward, I can show you on the plans.
Sure.
There's pre-existing homes here.
Yep.
I'll put it up on this level. There's 3 tiers down, up, and then up. And this would be the last tier for me to develop. I've got electric up there already and operating, and then I would work the front project, and then when I get up to this portion, I'd have to take it out so I could finish the project.
Are all these other dwellings going to be remaining?
The only dwellings that are existing are the main house here and a cottage
Down by the road.
down by the road.
Yep.
All of these are the condos that we're proposing to put on the property.
So these are all proposed?
Correct. There should be 20 of them, yes.
Okay.
But at this time, not approved or not.
No, I'm
Right.
3 weeks away from the engineer having the final stamps.
So at this point, you just want to put the mobile home way up in the back.
Correct.
Now, you said you have electricity up there, and how about water and sewer?
There's water just below it, and there's sewer lines up here that I can access to. There used to be buildings up there, and I found, again, the water line. There's probably water up here, but I know there's one right about here, and then.
So you would propose to connect onto that water line?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm good. I can see it. Thank you.
And then you'd connect the sewer line.
Correct. Yes.
These plans were approved for the condominium project and
I'm not exactly sure because it was prior to me buying it, but it expired. And then I went back to the same engineer, and he's in the process of renewing
Sir,
the approvals.
Mr., you go back to the
Just so it can
microphone.
be recorded into the mic there. What is, sorry, go ahead, Brian, please.
we saw that project. So at this point, it's not an approved project.
Not an approved project.
Not.
No, the approval expired.
Approval expired.
the year I bought it.
So
What does it need for approval? Just engineering plans, or is there more
They'll have
underlying?
to go all the way through the planning board process.
Okay.
For a subdivision or a site plan.
Okay, so you have to go through planning. It doesn't need zoning variances
I'm not aware.
that you're aware of.
I have not even seen the plan.
Okay.
So I think you should continue to hear testimony, ask questions, but I'm a little bit concerned with the precedent of it. Because if this was an approved project that the planning board, whatever embodied board had approved, I wouldn't have a problem with this at all. He's got plenty of land. It's not so much an acreage question, but I would encourage the board to be cautious about allowing extra dwelling units for projects that, with all due respect to Mr. Parsh, may or may not happen. I mean,
Sure.
he may never submit this. I understand what he's saying, but things change, circumstances change. But, obviously continue to seek testimony and public comment.
But right now, there is a dwelling unit on the premises.
Correct.
So this would become an accessory dwelling unit. Would that be something that would be a special exception in the zone?
I'd have to take a look at that. If it were, obviously we're not noticed for that for tonight.
Right.
If the board would like for me to kind of take a look at it from that angle, I can certainly do that. And with Mr. Parsh's concurrence, we could revisit that at perhaps our next meeting if that's an avenue that is worth pursuing.
Would your intent be to tear the existing buildings down as part of your?
No, the two existing buildings are.
This conference will now be recorded.
Do not touch it.
What's the timeline you're anticipating for your project?
As soon as the engineer has everything in my hands, which he said 3 weeks, I'm expecting the project to be 3 to 4 years realistically for the entire project.
What's the timeline you're anticipating needing the mobile home?
Probably 2 to 3 years until I get to that upper level, and then I would move it out and start developing that last tier.
do you have a mobile home picked out yet?
I've got a vendor, colleague in my industry that rents them for emergency use, and all I've got to do is call him and he'll have one available for me in probably within 3 month notice.
Because I know it's not going to be a permanent resident. You're going to move it out, but they got to be 10 years or newer to
Yes.
come into this town.
Yep, it would be.
And I would suspect, since you are going to be living there, it's going to have to go through building, a pad, whatever it's required for a mobile home.
Yes.
Please stop me if I'm speaking out of line here. I'm just going to express how I'm feeling about this, and you guys. I feel like we would be better off to hear this once his plan is more secured.
I agree with that.
I feel like if we rule on this tonight, we're ruling on it early in the process. And we may be better off to, while it makes his life a little more difficult, he's got to come back and revisit us. We would be at least speaking on a plan that's been formulated and presented rather than a hypothetical plan. But we can't tell you to come back, right? Correct? Am I correct on that?
Continue to a date certain. You can.
Can we recommend to continue it, or does he have to decide?
He has to assent. He has to agree.
Okay.
He could press he could call the question and have you go up or down.
Sure.
If that's the case and the motion fails, then, although I haven't read, typically ordinances have like an appeal period, or he couldn't submit within X amount of time. I recommend, if he's amenable to, we look at the schedule and pick some time down the road, maybe not even the next meeting, because I really am not sure that because frankly, the deadline has passed for the planning board
For this month.
Yes. So we're not looking at this going on the next planning board even. So I would suggest, I would say that if you pick a date that's more than probably the next 2 meetings, so let's say if you pick like 3 meetings out, we would have to renotice. If not, we don't have to.
Okay. How does the board feel about that?
Well, I guess my question is, how soon were you planning on moving this mobile home in, assuming you were to be granted permission?
If I was granted permission, my ideal situation would be through the summer. So
So in other words, it's not critical that we have to make a decision tonight so that you were planning on moving it in by, let's say, the 1st of May.
no, not at all.
Okay. Under those conditions, I would be willing to seek a continuance if this gentleman is willing.
Everybody else agree with it if he's on board with it?
I concur.
Are you on board with that?
I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
How far out do you,
Well, I think it's going to be at least 2 months. More than 2 months, you got to re-notify, or?
I think the 5/21 meeting would be okay. I also want to bring to the board's kind of edification as I'm kind of transitioning in and bringing, what I have to bear. Here, the RSAs do not require legal ads to be posted in the newspaper, provided that municipalities post the agendas of notice of the meeting in 2 specific locations, which we do, as well as on the town's website. If you do that, the RSAs don't require that you run legal ads like in the newspaper the old way. I'm going to be looking toward not doing that anymore. There's a cost to the town and to the applicants, and just a host of other reasons. So in reality, it won't matter other than the abutters or interested parties that may watch this meeting later that would hear the date that it was continued to. So we wouldn't run an ad in the paper anyway again, but it would just be whether they know what the date is or not.
okay. Does May work for you?
That works.
Sounds like it'll work for your timeline.
Yes, according to the engineer yesterday, 3 weeks and he'll have it presented. So
Okay.
I'm at his mercy.
5/21 then.
Does someone want to make a motion to continue the case to?
Sure, I'd like to move that we continue the case until May 21st, with the understanding that the applicant is in agreement with that date.
All right, motion's been made to continue zoning board case 24-01 to May 21st.
I'll second it.
Made and seconded by Jim. Any discussion on it? No? All right. Those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Right?
Those, all right, the ayes have it. We will see you on the 21st.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, on to case 24-03. Hands are out of the way.
Mr. Chairman, is this a public hearing?
Yes,
You haven't asked input from anybody that's in the public, have you?
we did not get to the point of asking for public input on that. No, I apologize. If you'd like to speak on that case, please feel free.
It's a moot point right now.
Do it on the next one.
What's that?
Make sure you do on the next
Yeah, we usually do. I apologize, just where the case got continued, we kind of got overlooked. I apologize for that.
Jason Hanser Auto Body.
Thank you for coming in. If you could just give us a brief overview of what you're looking to do.
Looking to put a 20-foot container on the backside of the main building where I have, right now I have 2 registered trailers parked there now. And I want to remove one and put the storage unit tight to the back of the building.
Okay, so you have like an 18-wheeler trailer?
No, actually I have one 28-foot enclosed trailer and one 10-foot enclosed and 10-foot I'm moving. And I want to put a 10-foot container there to put basically to get all our paint stands and stuff from being all outside in the yard.
Anyone else have any questions?
Is the location, it's right behind the auto body. It's between the
Right.
two buildings.
Between the two buildings, correct.
And it's not gonna, I don't know exactly what's there for that right of way or roadway that goes over. Is it out of that?
Yes, it's not in the right of way. It's going to be where we have a trailer particular at this time.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, it looks like it's not gonna be seen from Route 3.
No, you won't. No, because I'm going to have it, it'll be, the tail end of it will be flush with the building.
We usually have a site plan. There's no infringements on any of the setbacks.
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Here it is right there.
Oh, you have it. Perfect. Why not have it?
And I have some pictures if you need me. Excuse me?
It replaces an existing trailer?
Basically, it's where a registered trailer is right now.
Anyone have any questions for him?
I have no questions. Knowing that area very well, and you've got storage units behind, you've got Eurasian on the other side, you got the supermarket. I see no problem with it at all.
Yeah, the homeless camp's getting bigger and bigger out back there, so.
Yeah.
Any public input?
I'd like to ask the petitioner.
You just have to get up to the microphone and speak who you are into the record there.
Thank you, Chairman, Mr. Chairman. My name is Thomas Damon. I live in Calebfield Road. I'd like to ask the petitioner if he's going to store any hazardous materials in that trailer. Thank you.
There will be no hazardous materials in the trailer.
Okay.
We use waterborne paint, aqua-based paint. And we have up one 55-gallon drum in 55-gallon, two 55-gallon drums, one for antifreeze, one for waste oil, and it doesn't go over the 55. And I have a pan that they set in
It catches any leaks.
that catches if it was to leak. And we have, who is the company? Safety Clean company that services us.
Clean Harbors?
Clean Harbors, yes. They bought out Safety Clean.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Damon? Yes. Awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong here, this doesn't go through the 5 criteria. This is just if he meets the application criteria and it's a vote of yay or nay, correct?
Correct.
Is it just sitting on a gravel pad or?
It's asphalt.
Just an asphalt
It's just
pad.
the asphalt, and might put a block of wood down. I don't know.
This is a weatherproof container?
Yes, it's one of the shipping containers.
Okay, because some of them are not specifically weatherproof.
No, I want weatherproof
You need to
and
specify
homeless
that.
proof.
Homeless proof. Okay.
Seems appropriate to me. Breeze, any more questions for him?
Nope.
No? Any more public comment? We'll close public comment and make a motion if anyone's.
I'll move we approve the application, ZB 24-03.
All right, Chuck made a motion to approve zoning board case 24-03.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Jim. Any further discussion on the motion?
Nope.
Those in favor, vote aye.
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 And the ayes have it. Zoning board case 24-03 passes. Special exception.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if we have minutes from our last meeting.
I didn't see him yet.
I don't see them. I
Um,
don't remember seeing them in
they
Leanne's
were
email.
emailed. I got an email with the minutes. They're
Yeah, we don't have him in the paperwork.
not in the packet, no.
They're not in the packet.
Oh, that's right. I did see them in our email.
We can also put that up till the next meeting.
I'm comfortable with that if everyone else is.
My understanding that ZB 2404 is going to be delayed.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, they asked to come back in.
I would do that for a month.
Well, I guess we have to make a motion to continue that then. We probably should read this email into the record.
Yes.
So we're going to start case 24-04. They sent an email. This is from Eric Prue from Tanger Outlets, who says, I too have not been involved in this process. We haven't awarded a contract yet. I expect all of your requests and presentations to come from the contractor when the contractor is chosen and the contractor is executed. Please remove us from the agenda tomorrow and we will follow up when we know more. Thank you, Eric Prue, General Manager from Tanger. Sounds like they're not ready to come to the board. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, they didn't really provide any direction on when they wanted to come back.
No, Mr. Chair, through the chair, I reached out to them because, with me being new here, I wanted to really kind of run this down. And you have, I think, well, I didn't give you the application, but the application was not voluminous. There's not a lot of information. I need to ascertain, I can see what Ms. Moynihan's thinking was, in that they are, the intent of this, from what I've been able to gather, is it's just related to repaving of portions of the parking lot. But my sense is that this application was directed to them because of earth remove, like removing materials off site, taking milled materials, the pavement away. I'm still early days here. I know that provision in the code, or at least I've been told, was, more related to like preservation of farming and regulation of extraction industries and mining. I've got to really look into this particular application, to be frank, and determine forensically whether or not this is even necessary for them to repave their parking lot. The reason that this is being requested to be continued is the actual applicant is on paternity leave. Congratulations. And Mr. Prue is just not familiar at all. So unfortunately, that puts him and I both kind of in the same boat. And that's why they have requested a continuance. I think it's okay to continue this to a date certain, but if I determine later that the application is not necessary, then I just won't agenda it. It won't have any negative effect if we don't bring it forward.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're doing the
I want a
right.
little more time. I think I would be comfortable, obviously continuing it to the next meeting. They didn't. I will work with applicants moving forward. We typically do like to have a date certain, not just kind of an indefinite continuance like that, like to basically say take me off. But I think it's okay to do it for 30 days. Then that way I can gather information. I can work with Mr. Prue, and we very well may not need this application.
Okay. Everybody sound comfortable pushing out a month?
Yep.
April 16th.
April
you said?
16th,
Thank you for reminding me about this case, Chuck. I'd forgotten about it.
the third Tuesday, correct? April 16th.
April 16th. All right. Anybody want to make a motion to?
I'll make a motion to continue ZBA 24-4 till April 16th meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to table 24-04 to April 16th. Any discussion? Those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Then the ayes have it, so we will continue case 24-4 to April 16th. Everybody comfortable saving, voting on minutes till next meeting? Just so we all have them in front of us.
Yep. I apologize for that. I'm still kind of working out the kinks of the flow and working with Sue and all that. We will get better over time. There's been a lot of transition. I do want to mention one thing. Never mind. I'll let you finish or wrap up or whatever.
I was just going to ask if anyone had anything else.
I do want to kind of recommend some changes to like our agendas, make them a little bit more professional. At the chair's pleasure, I can send you a mock-up that I did for the planning board, where I've made kind of some corrections. It would look very similar, but to our ZBA agendas. It would be kind of the same format. Are you okay with me sending that to you,
Yeah,
and then you can, or are you okay with me sending that to the
Yeah,
full
send it
board?
to the whole.
Okay, so tomorrow I'll send that to the full board for kind of their input. You can just reply individual, you don't have to reply all, but you can just say whether you like it or not. And if so, we'll just, it's not drastic changes, but they just need a little tweaking. Other than that, this is my first meeting with the town. I'm happy to be here. I have a lot of respect for the town administrator, Paul Branscombe, and I'm excited to be here and to move the department forward. So with that, Mr. Chair, I turn it back over to you.
Thanks for joining us. I did have a question for you, actually. We talked about this at our last meeting. There's a handful of spelling errors in our application. And there was some question at the last meeting whether they came from the state, and so therefore we have to use them with the spelling errors. Not that I expect an answer right now, but I just wanted to bring it up because we talked about it last meeting. And if we can fix it, it would be awesome.
So I will go back and I'll read the last meeting's minutes to get further into the discussion, particularly.
Okay. It was
I will-
minor stuff.
No, I will say though, generally, our forms just in general need work. I'm going to be working on those. Luckily, forms like doing forms aren't subject to warrant. They're not like the zoning ordinance where if you make any change to them, you have to get voter approval. Typically, forms are deemed to be more of like a ministerial, which in New Hampshire, there aren't a lot of things that you can change that don't require warrant. Forms are one of them. Actually, site plan regulations and subdivision regulations as well, but not zoning ordinance at all. You can't even correct typos. You can't correct grammar. You can't correct commas. You can't really do any of it. You can't amend a map. You can't do Scrivener's errors. You have to go to warrant for all of that. So I think we would be in good shape moving forward to kind of take a look at those things. And that's definitely on my radar. So
Cool.
Yep.
Anything else? No? Any public comment about anything? All right.
I'll move, we adjourn.
Okay.
All right.
Second.
Chuck's made a motion to adjourn and seconded by Jim. Any discussion on that? No. All right. Those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned at 6:31.
Me too.